Welcome to CUTZ, the PPF and window film pre-cut software. In this comprehensive video manual, we'll guide you through the functionalities of CUTZ. After signing in, on the home page, you will find several buttons. Software Introduction, Purchase Subscription, Request Free Trial, Customer Assistance. On the left-hand side of the screen, there is the main menu containing Homepage, CUTZ Search, which is the library of patterns and graphic editor, Saved CUTZ, which is the database of patterns you have saved for later use, and Plotting Archive, which is an archive of patterns you previously cut. At the bottom of the main menu, you can see your remaining credits in square meters or feet, expiration date of your subscription, your account type. The History section displays all events associated with your account. The Profile section contains detailed information about your account and the function to activate your subscription. The upper right panel displays your account name, which matches the email address you used for account registration, the feedback button to send us your feedback on any issues you faced when using the software, the settings menu where you can choose the preferred measurement units, meters or inches. In this demonstration video, we use an account with an already activated subscription. However, if you are using CUTZ for the first time, you need to purchase a subscription or request a free trial. Upon doing so, you will receive an email with the gift card code and activation code to the email address specified earlier during registration. To activate the received codes, first, copy the gift card code. Then, return to the software and go to the Profile menu. Click the Redeem Gift Card button. In the window that appears, enter the gift card code and click Submit. Do the same for the activation code. Once the codes are activated, you will receive a notification confirming the successful activation, and your balance information on your profile will be updated. Please note that the trial period on one device can be activated only once. After activating a subscription or free trial, you can access the patterns library. In the CUTZ Search section, you will find several categories of the pattern library: exterior, interior, motorcycle, window film. To find patterns for the vehicle you are interested in, you need to select the category first, then the make, model, year, and trim level. As an example, we will choose the 2023 Tesla Model 3. Depending on the chosen model, you are offered one or several sets of patterns, for the full body or parts of it. Pattern titles indicate what parts of the vehicle are included. The term wrapped in the pattern titles indicates that the patterns have extended edges, allowing for wrapping the edges. Select the set of patterns you need by double-clicking on it. The graphic editor page will open. At the very top you can see a tab with the patterns library and a tab with the selected set of patterns. You can open several of these tabs with different cars at the same time and quickly switch between them. Below are tools for editing patterns and interacting with them. A little lower, there is a horizontal and vertical measuring ruler. Depending on the scale, it measures in centimeters and decimeters or inches and feet. As mentioned earlier, in the settings menu, you can choose the preferred measurement units by selecting metric or imperial. In the main field of the graphic editor, you see patterns. Patterns are positioned on a long canvas. The borders of the canvas are indicated by a gray frame. This canvas represents an unrolled roll of film. The default canvas size is 1.49 meters by 15 meters. But you can change the canvas size by selecting one of the options or by setting your own size at the bottom left. Although the standard width of a PPF roll is 1.52 meters, it is recommended to use a 1.49 meter wide canvas to avoid errors during cutting on the plotter. To fully interact with the graphic editor, a standard 3-button computer mouse is needed. To select the desired element, use the Select tool and click with the left mouse button. To select multiple elements, hold down the left mouse button and choose the area containing the desired patterns. The patterns that are completely within the rectangle will be selected. An alternative way to select multiple patterns is to hold down the Shift key on the keyboard and left-click on the desired patterns. When multiple patterns are selected, they can be moved together. To deselect, left-click on an empty area or press the Escape key on the keyboard. To zoom in and out, scroll the mouse wheel. The zooming will be automatically centered on the mouse pointer's location. To move the canvas, press and hold the mouse wheel. Alternatively, select the Move tool from the toolbar on the left, and by holding the left mouse button, navigate around the screen. To zoom out and display the entire canvas, right-click on an empty area. Right-clicking on a specific element will expand it to full screen. To rotate the element, select it and use the arrows that appear at the four corners of the pattern by holding down the left mouse button and moving the mouse in different directions. If you click on the question mark in the upper right corner, a memo detailing control functions will be displayed. To enter edit mode, double left click on the desired element, or select the Edit Anchor tool from the toolbar on the left. To exit edit mode, double left click again or press the Escape key on the keyboard. In edit mode, the more you zoom in, the greater the number of anchor points displayed on the pattern, allowing for more detailed adjustments. To select an anchor point, left click on the desired dot. To select multiple anchor points, hold down the left mouse button and choose the area containing the desired anchor points. Alternatively, hold down the Shift key on the keyboard and left click on the desired anchor points. If you have selected unnecessary anchor points, you can deselect them from the total number of selected points by holding down the Control key on the keyboard and choosing the area containing the unnecessary anchor points with the left mouse button. You can change the shape of the pattern by moving the selected anchor points. Drag them in the needed direction while holding down the left mouse button, or use the arrow keys on the keyboard. Additionally, you can use the Edge Expansion tool to automatically expand the edge either outward or inward by the set distance. To add extra anchor points to the pattern for more precise editing, utilize the Add Anchor tool. Hold down the left mouse button and draw a line where you want to insert a point. The point will appear at the intersection of the pattern line and the line you've drawn. This functionality becomes available once you zoom in on the pattern. To remove anchor points, select the undesired points and click the Delete button on the toolbar or press the Delete key on the keyboard. In this scenario, a new line will connect the two nearest anchor points. If you need to enlarge or shrink the entire pattern in all directions at once, use the Edge Expansion tool without selecting specific anchor points. After expanding the edge with the Edge Expansion tool, whether for the entire pattern or selected anchor points, a shadow of the original pattern is automatically generated and displayed as a blue line. This feature allows you to observe how the shape of the pattern has changed. If you move the pattern, the shadow will remain in the same position. The generated shadow cannot be cut by the plotter, it is only visible in the graphic editor. To remove the shadow, click on the Delete All Shadow button on the toolbar. To generate the shadow line, click on the Shadow button. The Align Canvas tool positions the selected patterns as close to the bottom left edge of the canvas as possible. It is advisable to employ this feature for either a single pattern or a pre-assembled group of patterns. If you apply this function to align the patterns individually, they will align one after the other along the bottom edge of the canvas. You can duplicate patterns using the copy and paste buttons or the standard keyboard shortcuts, Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V. You can delete a pattern by selecting it and then clicking the Delete button on the toolbar, or by pressing the Delete key on your keyboard. You can delete all patterns at once by clicking the Clear All button. To undo previous actions, use the Undo button or the standard keyboard shortcut Ctrl+Z. To redo the action, press the Redo button. With the Group tool, you merge two separate elements into a single element. This allows you to cut one inside the other, for example, to create a hood emblem. Select the elements you want to combine and click on the Group button. To unlink the merged elements, use the Ungroup tool. The horizontal mirror and vertical mirror tools enable you to mirror patterns horizontally and vertically, respectively. This feature is particularly handy for mirroring patterns within a car's interior, for example, if you have a right-hand drive version of the car. Let's see how it works with the interior patterns for Tesla Model 3. Select all the patterns and click on Horizontal Mirror. The Cut and Close Pattern tool splits the pattern into two or more separate elements and closes them along the cut line you draw. To use the tool, select it, press and hold the left mouse button, and draw a line through the pattern at the desired cutting point. The Cut and Unclose pattern tool splits the pattern into 2 or more separate elements, but does not close them along the cut line, leaving that side open. You can close the open sides of the patterns using the Generate to Polygon tool, which draws a connecting line between 2 open ends. The Zoom Lock function allows you to lock or unlock the ability to adjust pattern sizes. By default, pattern size adjustment is locked. Clicking the Zoom Lock button enables you to adjust the pattern size horizontally, vertically, or proportionally in all directions by dragging the corner point. You can modify the pattern size from its center by holding down the Shift key on the keyboard and dragging a corner point of the pattern using the left mouse button. To measure the size of patterns, use the ruler tool. Position the mouse pointer at the starting point where you want to measure the distance. Click and hold the left mouse button, then move the pointer to the end point. The value of the measured distance will be displayed next to the pointer. To create a custom shape, utilize the Pin tool. Begin by pressing the left mouse button to establish the initial point. Draw lines by clicking the left mouse button again at the locations where you need to add new points and change the direction of the line. To finalize the shape, double-click the left mouse button. To connect the starting and ending points, click on the Generate to Polygon tool. Your custom shape is now complete. The Text tool enables you to effortlessly create various lettering or numbers, such as your company name. Use the rectangle, circular, and triangle tools to create their corresponding shapes. When holding down the Shift key on the keyboard, the shapes will be created as equilateral. And these 2 tools allow you to import PLT files, or images. As mentioned earlier, you can open multiple tabs with different patterns simultaneously and switch between them easily. You can copy patterns from one tab to another, for example, to cut them together. In our demonstration, we will add the interior patterns to the canvas along with the exterior patterns. We have previously opened the set of interior patterns for the Tesla Model 3. Now, we will navigate to that tab, select the patterns, and copy them. Returning to the tab containing the exterior patterns, we paste the copied interior patterns. The patterns will be inserted at the location of the mouse pointer. With all the required patterns now consolidated on one canvas, we can proceed to cut them together. If certain patterns are shown in red, it indicates that they are overlapping with each other. In such instances, we need to spread them apart. Additionally, a pattern may appear in red if it extends beyond the canvas boundaries. In this case, we should position the pattern within the canvas boundaries. If certain patterns remain displayed in red, and you proceed to plot by pressing the plot button, a warning message will pop up, and you will not be allowed to continue with the plotting. So, make sure you have positioned all the patterns correctly on the canvas and then click plot again. In the window that appears, you will see a preview of the canvas with patterns that will be cut. Only the patterns within the canvas boundaries will be cut. If you go back and move any pattern outside the canvas, upon returning to the preview, you will notice that the pattern is no longer there, and it will not be cut. In the bottom part of the window, you can see the area that will be used up for cutting and your remaining credits. The area is calculated based on the extreme points of the height and length of the pattern. If there are empty spaces in that section, they will also be included in the calculated area. Select the plotter here. Currently, there is no connected plotter, so the drop-down list is empty. However, once a plotter is connected, it will appear in this list. If you enable the segment option, the plotter will cut the film by segments, one after another. You can set the segment length as you prefer. This option is typically employed when cutting large and lengthy parts to prevent the film from shifting and creasing during the cutting process. The Return to Starting Point option returns the plotter's blade to the beginning of the canvas upon finishing the cutting process. Click Plot now to start cutting. Save the edited patterns by selecting the Save button. If necessary, provide a description and choose Save As. Once saved, the tab where you worked on this pattern will automatically close. To find the saved patterns, go to the Saved CUTZ section. If the patterns are not displayed automatically, click the search button. If you have a large number of saved patterns, you can type in the name of the vehicle or relevant description keywords in the search bar. We've covered the major features and tools that CUTZ has to offer. We appreciate you watching this video until the end. Should you have any questions or recommendations, please reach out to our support team. We hope your experience with our software will be enjoyable. Thank you for choosing CUTZ.